A very good morning, welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online at about 10:45 on Friday the 27th of June. Well, it's an incredibly busy day ahead, and if I have to say, so much of the value has been already taken out of the market, but I will go through all my observations for you. If you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Jeff Laughton. I've been a professional gambler for over 35 years. It's been my sole income for the last 20, and I've been the scourge of bookmakers for a very long time. Now, you'll see many people on social media bigging themselves up, waving fancy betting slips around, getting out of helicopters and all this malarkey. But my track record is pretty exemplary. I've had 75 winners with my own horses, including Group 1 horses, Group 2 and Royal Ascot winners, and I've instigated some unbelievable gambles. I win money from the bookmakers literally every week. I don't have accounts in my name, but I have many people up and down the country who place bets on my behalf. And I will say, if you've got a losing bookmaker account, you fancy placing a few bets for me, then I'd like to hear from you. It'll certainly be worth your while. I'm going to go racing today. I'll be at Doncaster this afternoon and then on to Newmarket tonight, and I haven't decided where I'm going to go tomorrow as yet. If you're at either meeting, by all means, come and say hello. First thing to say is I feel 100 times better today than I have done for the last 3 days. And to the people who have inquired about my health, many thanks for the concern, but I'm definitely on the mend now. So if you're new to the channel, let me explain, this is not a tipping channel. I'm not here to give free information. What I am doing is try to teach you how to bet. And the first rule of that is to find the races to bet in. I don't want to be betting in 20-runner handicaps where 10 of them have got a chance. I want to play in races where only 2 or 3 can possibly win, which makes us the favourite. Now, we may not hit 16 or 20 to 1 winners, but what we will do is hit a huge strike rate, and that will always give us a profit. And maybe back in boring 5 to 4 or even money chances, but it's not boring when you draw money every day. What is boring and disheartening is when you lose your hard-earned money chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and I don't do that. So I'm going to go through some races today. I think there are some easy options. It's down to you to decide whether or not you want to bet on them. So before we start, as always, hit the subscribe button. It does help when I don't put videos up and you're not hanging around all day. You'll get a notification from YouTube to let you know when these videos go up. If you're interested in being a little bit more select or having a bit more money on, then inquire about my private service at the email address below. We've won all 9 weeks since the flat season started, and we're showing a huge profit of 145 points in just 9 weeks. Now, most people who do what I do don't even make that in a year, and we've done it since the end of March. So if you're interested, drop me an email at the email address below, jefflaughtonmanagement@gmail.com. Right, let's get started. Doncaster in the 150. Pendragon of Sir Mark Prescott's was super impressive on handicap debut, stepping up for the first time to 1.5 miles. He was on and off the bridle and looked a typical Prescott handicap debutant, but he had plenty in hand at the end, and this step up to 1.6 miles will be right up his street. He should be very hard to beat. In the 220, same applies to favourite memory of Rafe Beckett's. She showed a huge step up in form when she was up from 1 mile to 1 mile 3 furlongs on a second start, and she was a very good second to Charlie Appleby horse that they really like. They pulled 12 lengths clear of the third horse, and again, it will be hard to beat. Priced accordingly, of course. In the 320th, Displaying of Andrew Baldwin's Let me start again on that one. I'm trying to go too quick because I'm in a rush. So in the 320, Displaying of Andrew Baldwin has shown a steady increase in ability. And over 1.2 miles at Goodwood last time, got stuck in on the rails, as often happens at that track. And he had to manoeuvre about 8 wide to get a run, losing about 4 or 5 lengths, and then flew home for a fast finishing second. On this very fair track and with only 5 runners, he should have no problem today, and again should be hard to beat. Let's go to Yarmouth, and in the 408, I was very taken with the way that James Tate's Blue RC won at Thirst 10 days ago over 7 furlongs. That was against older horses, and he put them away impressively, winning over 3 lengths without being fully extended. He's back against 3-year-olds today and carries a £6 penalty for Thirsk. However, if the race was tomorrow, he would have a further £4 to carry. In the 440, George Bowie's Blue Anthem is in search of the hat-trick, having won 10 days ago at Thirsk. He'd previously won at 7 furlongs, over 7 furlongs at Salisbury, but then dropped back to 5 at Thirsk. And I wouldn't say he struggled to win. I think he was probably lucky to win over 5. And I think this 6 furlong should be ideal for him. At Newmarket this evening, I'll be desperately trying to get there for the first race because Ed Walker introduced a very smart acclamation filly. She cost 470,000. Let me get rid of that. She cost 470,000 guineas at last year's Tattersall's Book 2 sale and has been working particularly well. The standard of the two with form is not that high, and if she's not too green on debut, she could be hard to beat. In the 6:10, a bloom of William Haggis has been slowly coming to hand and was just touched off last time at Yarmouth. She's definitely not a stable star, but this is also not a strong race, and stepping up to a mile for the first time, she should be good enough to get off the mark. But one to note here is George Bowie's Grand Ventura. Now, she's owned by bloodstock agent Steve Hillen, who is quite a shrewd guy. She's Australian bred and so gets a huge weight allowance because of this. And then they have put up £7 claimer Jack Callan. Now, all the signs are there. I know she's been working well and the fancy prices could be worth a second look. In the 7:15, I think this rests between the front two in the market. French Haven's been fairly consistent, but probably of limited ability. She's certainly going to run a race tonight and may well win, though I'm yet to be convinced she actually wants 1.25 miles. The other one to concentrate on is Cape Flora, who's been slower to come to hand, but staying on 4th at Chelmsford recently suggests she's got ability, and if she does get it together tonight, she could be hard to beat. In the 8:20, this looks a competitive handicap. Mr. Ubiquitous has won 4 out of his last 5 races and was impressive recently at Newbury. 60 G's Baby had a real upward profile until disappointing recently at Newmarket, but the one of a strong word for is Lakers. Now, following a breathing operation, he's working like a nice horse, and without saying is a good thing, he'll definitely be involved in the finish tonight. At Newcastle, in this 5:25, well, at 5 a.m. this morning, Warrior Mode was 10 to 11, can you believe? And I spent the first hour of my morning mopping all that price up. And probably his price now is at 2 to 5, he's probably where he should be. The same applies in the 6 o'clock to Excellent Believe, who looks different class to these. And if you wanted a short price accumulator to make it interesting, then Pendragon, Favourite Memory, Warrior Mode and Excellent Belief should pay about 100 to 30 for the accumulator. In the 7:05, Diamond Reign of Charlie Appleby's runs in this race. Now, she's never run on the all-weather before, but she does work really well on it at home, and she should be too good for these. So, many apologies for so many short ones, but you can only play with the cards that you are dealt. Now, I've put 3 horses up today on my private service, which I've had a substantial bets on each. If you want to know what they are, then drop me an email at jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll speak to you at the same time tomorrow. Many thanks.